No, it's usually a tall tale sign if the other fighter thinks the other guy won. The other guy probably fucking won.
It's one thing to do what he did, but to do that against Bryce Mitchell.
So Anthony Smith went from fighting Jamal Hill in March to now his opponent's going to be fighting for the belt in January, and now he's going to be helping him for the fight against Glover.
Man, you trying to talk your homie Paddy, man?
Bro, that was robbery if I've ever seen it.
Oh my God! So I'm
let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. This is the motherfucking Fight Club. And first of all, Fight Clubs, go down, like, and subscribe, and drop a comment of your review of UFC 282. And the second rule of the Fight Club is if you didn't do any of that, then go fuck yourself. But stay for the video and enjoy the show. This is Paul, Pick 'em, Win 'em, Contra, and I'm joined with...
Hey man, you already know it's your boy Kev, Waterboy Savoy, aka the Street Fight Enthusiast. You feel me, man? And the motherfucker that fell asleep on the live stream.
Yo!
It was tragic. The boys was talking about, hey man, I think your man's sleeping. So I was like, oh no, KK, we got to get you out of here.
Someone had to call the bouncer, bro. They had to get you.
But no cap, man. Make sure you go check out that comedian Romeo Mack. That was a fun live stream. We was on that bitch with I want to say his name was like Space Fighter. The bro was funny.
Oh shit. Well, I'm gonna ask you your comments. We gotta start from the top and work our way down. Your 282 was kind of top heavy this week on controversy. Main event ending in a draw. I'm gonna say it. That boy Yuri defended his belt without even having to fight. He's no one walked away with his belt after this fight.
Oh man, that shit was funny, man. Just to think about the fact that like I fell asleep for this fight, but when I repeat everything and listened to Dana talk about it, it could have went either way. Like motherfucking, what do you think? What did you see happen?
I thought Meglumed. I took Jan to win by decision plus 600. I put that out to on the page for anyone that wanted to follow, and I didn't think he won until I heard it was a fucking like first judge says Jan won 48-47. And then Meglumed, second judge, Meglumed wins 46-48. And now I'm at the edge of my seat, like, oh fuck, like maybe I just got gifted a decision. Maybe the US, like, cause I always get hold by a robbery by judges. So I'm gonna sit here like, oh, if finally the universe is gonna give me one plus 600 odds, give it to me. And then it ends in a fucking tie. And I'm gonna be unbiased. I didn't think Jan won, so that's why I was happy. Like, well, maybe I got gifted a decision. I felt like he came out kind of strong. There were some moments, but then when Meglumed stopped trying to engage after the third round, fourth and fifth round, he started shooting takedowns and was 11-minute control time. It was just like, oh, like, yeah, Jan had some big shots and did some damage early, but the whole fight, Meglumed won. I think Meglumed had second half of the fight controlled it. The first two rounds, I think, are the only two rounds I could actually give to Jan. But 3, 4, and 5, I think Meglumed won. And it wasn't like the third round, maybe close, but I don't think it was that close. But there's another one where it's like, shit, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never seen a draw live, and I've never seen a draw for a Vacant title where no one walks out with the title before. I don't know if that ever happened.
That's what's crazy about it. It says it's happened 5. Well, I don't know about the vacant time, but the fact is, there's only been 5 championship fights have ended in draws before.
And they always run it back too.
But they said fuck that. But no, it was crazy just hearing everybody's side for it because I was up for the first 2 rounds and I thought Jan was looking good and he was getting his shots in, but I definitely missed the third, fourth, and fifth. But just seeing that Meglumed took it over and just really showed how dominant his wrestling is. But hey, man. It wasn't enough to get the whole W, man.
I think what the icing on the cake though was when interviewed, Jan said, "I didn't win. Give that man his title."
Oh wow!
And Meglumed, he said like they had the translator, of course, but Meglumed was saying, "UFC, where's my title? I won this fight. Where is my title?" That's what his post-fight interview was in the octagon. Like, where's my title? I won. And then when Jan was like, raised the other guy's hand, raised Meglumed's hand, and then got the mic and was like, "Yeah, that man won. That should." But then Jan came out today and was like, "Rewatching the fight, I think it was a draw. I don't think I lost, and I don't think I won either." So I mean, maybe in a spur of the moment, took too many headshots and wasn't thinking clearly. But I don't know. It's usually a tall tale sign if the other fighter thinks the other guy won. The other guy probably fucking won.
Yeah, now he definitely not gonna get in the mix. But hey, man, that's how that fight went down. They say Dana hated the fight. Dana said he was having a great. Dana literally said, "I liked all the fights this year except for that last one." But I was like, "That's fucked up." But yeah, Dana hated the fight from point blank, and then that's kind of the mindset people becoming with. You can't think that you up. But if we're talking, so now that the title's still up, Dana said at the interview at the post fight conference, the next motherfucking like 30 minutes later, they said everybody was bummed out in the green room after that last fight. But then somebody said, we could do Glover versus Jamal in Brazil. Book that motherfucker. So now we got the motherfucking then vacant against the still vacant light heavyweight championship being a championship fight going to Brazil for Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill, man. How do you feel?
I like it for Glover because I felt like Glover got hoed that they told him if you want to fight for a vacant title, you have to fight Megalomed a week of the fight. And then he said, no, let me fight for it in Brazil. And they said, nah. And I'm like, you do not treat a former champion like that. Like you should give him a little bit more to say, a little bit more room. But I kind of like it. Universe worked out for him. I'm playing the long game. And one of the things I will say, Jamal Hill is the betting favorite, minus 140 to or minus 160 to Glover's plus 140. Go hammer that plus 140 money line because once that fight hits the mat, Jamal Hill is gonna get submitted. He was getting taken down by Thiago Santos. Like there's no way Jamal Hill is gonna be able to stop Glover Teixeira on the ground.
Hey, so I was watching the DC and RC podcast, and they was like, "Damn, but I feel like everybody was okay with this fight except for Paul Craig. Paul Craig's the only person that only person to beat Ankalaev, and Paul Craig's beating Jamal Hill. They was like, what the fuck? Like Paul
both
Craig
by submission too.
Paul Craig sitting this bitch like, bro, what the fuck? Where am I at? But
and Anthony Smith, though, he was supposed to fight Jamal Hill on March. That was his next opponent. It was supposed to it was all. I think the paperwork was done. Next opponent, March fight, Jamal Hill, Anthony Smith, and then Anthony Smith is working the broadcast table when the news breaks. And
that's crazy.
And he answered respectfully and whatever. Like he took it, but even John Anik was like, "I'm gonna give all my props to you right now, Anthony Smith. You're hearing this news live next to us, and you're not saying anything. Like this is your to show your professionalism. I like, and this is the biggest thing. That was Saturday, and here we are Tuesday. Breaking news is Jamal Hill. Who's gonna help him in camp? Anthony Smith. So Anthony Smith went from fighting Jamal Hill in March to now his opponent's going to be fighting for the belt in January, and now he's going to be helping him for the fight against Glover.
Wow. Wow. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it was a crazy turn of events. I shout out Anthony Smith, but Anthony Smith got his ass beat by Glover, so I don't know how much he's going to help for real.
I'm crying. But hey, man, I think it's good for Glover, man. Glover being an underdog is insane. I think Vegas is probably gonna have to fix that before the fight comes. So if you got a chance to go hit that right now. Because Glover was winning his fight against Yuri. He gave up his neck. He's tired. So I don't know if age is playing into a factor and the fact that Glover's literally been training because he was expecting to get the title back in December, to fight for the title in December. So he's in shape right now. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what made him think this. But
Hill's got the power to land a shot here or there to knock him out early, but this is a 5-round fight. I don't think Glover's smart enough to know that his strength is going to be on the mat.
Nah, for real. So, yeah, I'm taking motherfucker. But we'll make predictions when we get to that bit. But on to the next fight, man. You trying to talk your homie Paddy, man?
Bro, that was robbery if I've ever seen it.
Oh my god! So I was definitely awake for this fight. Me and all of us were watching this fight. Like, damn, Paddy's getting fucked up. Don't get me wrong. He did. He definitely tried to get some shots in, but Jared Gordon was a fucking boss. Like, he really was going in that motherfucker.
Haymakers too.
He was hitting his ass, but Dana said, but I'm actually gonna wait to get into the judges' scorecard. So I was fucking them up for the first round, and then that third round, they said that all they did was just stay on the motherfucking cage all day. How do you feel about Dana White saying that?
See, that to me flashbacks to younger Dana, because when UFC was fresh in the 2000s and stuff, he used to talk shit about the wrestlers and the submission artists. But then as it grown and his knowledge of the fighting has grown, he's like respected the wrestlers and BJJ people. Like he realizes there's more to fighting than just knocking people out and throwing hands. So for him to make that comment, I thought that was like kind of like, bro, like did you just take 10 steps back? Like, okay, you don't like that they're on the cage. Well, how about Paddy don't allow him to put his ass on the cage? How about Paddy reverse him and put him on the cage? No, okay, even if he wasn't on top of him, it was a control. He was controlling him in the clinch, putting him where he wants to hit him. Like yeah, you can say not all the damage is going on, but I didn't feel like Paddy was doing damage for 3 rounds to have him win an unanimous decision, like 2-1 on everyone's scorecard. I felt like Gordon had more damage done early in the fight, and as it went on, as they're getting tired, Gordon was still controlling the fight. There was no point in this fight where I felt like Paddy was like winning the fight.
See, now you played into my trap card, right? So I did some research. So I agree Jared Gordon won that fight. Jared Gordon agrees Jared Gordon won that fight. Ryan Clark in DC agree Jared Gordon. So we can go on and on. This is long.
I've never seen UFC community Twitter all cohesively agree that one person won a fight. I've never seen it, even in the worst robberies.
And it was crazy because that's a fan favorite. That's a scouser. Even watching Izzy and watching the Israel Adesanya reaction video, they were shocked Jared Gordon lost the fight. So I did some research, right? And I found out one of the judges is fucking hilarious. He gave Paddy the first 2 rounds. His name is Doug Crosby. He gave Paddy the first.
Yeah, I know this Douglas Crosby fucker.
And then motherfucking gave Jared Gordon the 3rd round. It's like, wouldn't it be backwards? But Errol Hawani and the boys think Jared Gordon won the fight. But motherfucking I went to go think, I was like, yo, controversial Doug. I remember making that joke on the podcast. What other fight did he rep? Did he judge? And then I did some research. He was the one that did the Josh Emmett Calvin Kattar fight.
So you going even further, he did that card and then he was at the Bellator card less than 24 hours prior, and he judged the main event. 2 judges decided one person won and like 49-46, 4-1. He gave the loser all 5 rounds.
Wow.
50-40, and it's the only time in MMA history, Bellator and UFC history, that a judge has awarded the loser all 5 rounds in a fight or something like that. Like it does never happened before. So it's like, and these judges they're not accountable. Like there's not gonna be no 6-month ban like it is for like a fighter that tests positive. There's not gonna be no financial money taken away from this person. It's just like, okay, well, you're gonna be judging on March 10th next year. Well, see you then. Like that's literally how it goes.
That's crazy. I might have heard, I don't know, but I heard the words investigation getting thrown out there. I'm finna watch some Charles Sutton tonight. He gonna let me know.
A whole bunch of UFC fighters are coming out saying that these judges need to be held accountable, because if you even break it down, they could be going to court. Because think about how much you make versus winning versus losing in fights. And now you're taking money from people. Like if it gets big enough, like if someone really could pull up like track records of someone being a shoddy judge, like over 10-year spans, like that's millions of dollars that you took out of certain fighters' pockets because I'm not gonna say you took a bribe, but like what else is there that's going on? Does people have information on you? Do you not like a certain fighter? Like I don't know, because some of these judging scorecards are so outrageous. It's just like there's no way you saw the same fight we saw. And I'm not saying the Paddy and Gordon fight is one of them, but to give a loser that the other 2 judges gave 4 rounds to, all 5 rounds, like what the fuck were you watching?
Right. And it's tough because you can't judge damage. Like you can't. This is a tough sport to judge in the first place, and they're doing whatever the UFC is doing whatever they can. But at the end of the day, who knows? But this just shows. But this fight showed that like Paddy definitely has a ceiling. I don't think a lot of people ever felt like he was gonna be UFC champion, but his brand speaks to it, speaks to as if he would do something like that. But I heard the best thing I've ever, best description I've ever heard of Paddy is that he's Conor McGregor without the left hand. Like even at the press conference when him and Illu was going back and forth, he was talking about, so you'll do nothing, and that's famous Conor McGregor right there. You'll do nothing, you twerk. That's famous Conor McGregor from Ultimate Fighter. I'm not saying he did that on purpose. Maybe that's how they really just say that. But it's just like his brand is gonna speak for him, but like he'll never be like that dude for like it's gonna be tough to even break into the top 10 in my
That's
opinion.
what I'm literally about to ask. I'm like, what lightweight so deep? What fighter is he gonna be able to beat to be able to like have him on there even go? Because Dana wants him to fight for a title. That Dana White wants this man fighting for a title tomorrow if he could, for all the money he could make off of him. But who's he gonna be able to beat in the top 10 at lightweight? That's really gonna like I don't know. Like there's like it's too deep of a division for. I think the hype job is eventually because even the real MMA fans they're not fucking with Paddy after this dub. A lot of casuals still fuck with him. They love Paddy. Barstool Sports fucking fucks with him heavy. But there's gonna become a moment where he like I don't think he's gonna become champion, but he can only get so many non-ranked opponents right now. Like there's gonna become a time where he's gonna take that step up, and it's gonna show. I think real bad. Even
I think
Terrence McKinney's unranked, and I think Terrence McKinney would kind of wreck him.
yeah, I actually just heard that name on DCRC. They said Terrence McKinney and the boys would really tear him up. So I think it just comes down to they're trying to book Edwards Usman at the O2 in London. They put him on the undercard.
Usman's done. Usman can't fight. They're trying to put Jorge Masvidal.
Really?
And if Jorge Masvidal ends up with the title shot against Leon Edwards, I may have I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna start watching UFC, but bro, that's gonna be tough to swallow. That's one hell of a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's tragic. Because what have you done?
That is really Dana White just smacking a whole bunch of fighters in the face, like, Jorge's gonna do more numbers for me. I don't care if you are a better fighter or better win streak. You're looking at he's treating more like a business than actual fighting, and I feel like the fighters themselves aren't gonna fuck with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting 2023. That's going.
Khalil Muhammad has a right to a title shot. Kobe Covington. I mean, now that Usman's no longer holding the belt, Hans fought. Fuck, I would even take a Gilbert Burns off his loss to Hamzat before I get a Jorge Masvidal in there.
That's crazy. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting 2023. But hey, man, what fight do you want to talk to next? Because like,
the Prozimbo fight wasn't nothing crazy. It was Morano was.
really?
I felt like it was a good fight, but Morano was winning the fight until the knockout came. I felt like Morano was probably going to walk away with the win. He had a knockdown earlier in the fight. He was doing the heavier damage. Prozimbo was getting the volume strikes in, but then Prozimbo caught him with one, mounted him, and then like this punch and TKO. Just kept punching until the fight was over.
I thought this fight was pretty interesting just because of that dynamic. Just because this was one of the fights that Morano got a fight bonus even though he lost. That was I want to say they gave him fight of the night, but the fact that Prozimbo went in that bit, his corner told him like, "Yo, bro, you lost the first 2 rounds." And remember, Morano picked this fight up on short notice.
That's why it was catch weight. He couldn't make the weight. He said, "Hey, if you can meet me at 180, though, I'll fight you."
Yeah. So I'm just looking like, oh, this was a fucking brawl, and them boys were really going back and forth with it. So like. Oh man, I like this fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was fun watching this fight and seeing Prozimbo because we was thinking like, oh damn, Prozimbo really took that bitch.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good fight. It's just with the other fights and the controversy with them, this one kind of got swept under the rug for me.
I respect it.
Then the one before it though, Darren Till looked terrible. He ends up getting beat by Duplessis, neck crank, and I mean, Darren Till looked good in the second round whenever Duplessis was exhausted. After the first round, Duplessis just beat the crap out of him, mounted him, controlled him, wouldn't let him up, doing damage. And then Darren Till, fresh leg, second round, was connecting, kind of laughing here and there, looking good. But then Duplessis, I mean, he couldn't knock him out. So then when Duplessis got his breath back for that third round, it was over for him, I felt like. And Duplessis took care, got the neck crank, submitted him. And I think some stats said that he only had like less than 30 seconds of control time his whole UFC career. And he ends this fight with like 5.5 minutes.
I'm fucking crying. I mean, I think Duplessis and Larson, this fight was fun to watch because Duplessis came in there fucking him up, and you could have thought like, they could have like it would have been close to stop the fight on that on those
Oh,
flurries and
he was a punching. It was bad.
fucking him up. But Darren Till's over here telling the ref, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm Gucci, I'm good. And then the fact that in the second round you seen Duplessis was it's Duplessis. The S is silence. But to see DPP do his thing, do his Darren Till just come back on him in the second round and just kind of work. I thought it was like, damn, it's gonna be another Wonder Boy situation. Fuck. But I think DPP just used brute strength. Like they were saying that he was using PBS, pure brute strength, the whole fight. Like, and then that's what won him in the end. I think it was a good win for him. And on his record, it says, "Yo, I beat Darren Till," because he's talking about some. Yeah, I beat Darren Till. I'm in the top 10 now. I'm trying to do bigger and better.
Darren Till was, I think, holding the 10 spot or 11 spot. So he was holding that spot hostage.
But like, I don't think, and then you want to push them, especially since they want to do UFC Africa. But I don't think that's the dude right there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, that he's a fun fighter. He's very like he throws everything at 100%. And that's why I thought Darren Till was gonna be able to take care of him because he's more calculated. But Duplessis showed that like there's a will, there's a way. Like he throws everything 120%, and that's what makes it exciting. But once he hits these 5-round fights, I think there's gonna be some issues in his camps.
Hell yeah.
Darren Till though, apparently he said that he had like a torn ACL before the fight, and then like he told Buffer that at the end of the fight, and Buffer's like, "Do you want me to tell them?" And he was like, "No, don't tell them." And people were like, "So why the fuck do you tell Bruce Buffer that?" Like, and people were like, Bruce Buffer was like, "Do you want me to tell somebody that gives a fuck? Because I don't give a fuck. Like, I just go ask somebody. Like, what are you telling me that shit for? I'm not the announcer."
I'm fucking crying.
Yeah, but Darren Till, I mean, it hasn't been the same. I mean, he still looks about what we thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.
Then to the people's main event, you took Bryce, I took Topuria, and boy was Topuria haymakers. Then, and just to cap it all off, submits him. He said, "All right, I've knocked you down once. I've fucking tore you up a whole bunch of times. I stuffed 8 of your takedowns. You only got 1 takedown on me, and now I'm just gonna choke you out with an arm triangle." And like immediately as fuck, as soon as he jumped on top of him, locked it in, choke him out, fight over.
Right, Toporia's nice. I'm not gonna lie to you because it's one thing to do what he did, but to do that against Bryce Mitchell, a very young up and coming prospect, we're pretty much undefeated until then.
Yeah, and I think Mitchell was like ranked 11 or something, or ranked. So he took that rank. Give me that. And not only took the rank, but I think he just put the whole featherweight people on notice. Like, because before coming to the UFC, it was like 7 straight submissions, and he comes into the UFC and he shows people, "Oh, I have fireworks for hands," and just taking people's soul out of them. So now it's like this new generation of MMA artists that are coming out. They're so dangerous to me because early years was like, okay, I'm a BJJ fighter. That's all I do. I'm a boxer or I'm a kickboxer. That's all I do. And then they kind of molded a little bit more with GSP and some other fighters that could do a little bit of both. And they were once good at one thing, trained in another thing in the UFC, got good at it. These motherfuckers are training 2 or 3 different fighting styles since like jits. So they're not like learning new fighting styles after joining the UFC or trying to get. They're trained high levels at all of these fighting styles before they even get into the UFC. And that's what I think makes them so dangerous, right? Like these new gen fighters are literally something else.
Yeah, like the days of like in Israel Adesanya who can be this great kickboxer and just have great takedown defense. Like that's gonna be tough when you're going against somebody that can really fight 4 different styles on you.
Yeah, at the high level at each. Like Topuria showed like his boxing's crisp. So crisp. And then if you want to shoot takedowns, he could do that too. Like I think in the next 10 years is gonna be the new gen style fighters taking over, or you're Russian and you got Sambo in your back pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Bryce, man, I'm not even gonna put his hat on, bro. I can't do it. But hopefully he gets someone better because Topuria just seemed like a different class. He just seemed like a different class of fighter.
Nah, he looked fucking. I mean, Bryce did what he could. He tried. He just realized I don't want to punch with this motherfucker. So let me try to take him down. And Taporia stuffed everything. Like he got one, but like.
Oh, and Paddy better talk to him nicely, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Paddy better not be trying to disrespect Taporia no more.
So God, they better chill. Oh man,
they gonna lock y'all two in a room, and I know who's coming out.
That's the next fight, boy. Oh my god.
Well, they're two different weight classes. He's featherweight and Paddy's lightweight, but I don't know, bro. What Taporia showed me, you motherfucker might go up to lightweight just to handle Paddy to go right back down.
I would, because that's money right there, especially if you got to go up. Oh my god.
Yeah, that boy a demon. And then the youngest demon on the UFC, Raul Rosas Jr. took care of business. Won first round within 2.5 minutes. The neck crank submission, and like boy just controlled him. He's just picking him up, slamming him, getting in his back. Fucking, he's legit. Like I wasn't fucking with him so much because he was talking a lot of shit before the fight. But then I realized I didn't know Jay Perrin was also talking shit. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with you talking shit. And then he definitely backed it up.
Nah, fuck that boy. Oh, but he's a young talent, man. I was listening to his interview on Ariel Helwani, man. Motherfucking niggas stopped going to school like maybe like 3-4 years ago and just took this shit 100% serious. And his people and his parents believed in him. And then it was wrong when he said,
shit, he could probably beat his daddy up. What was his dad gonna say? He's coming home, fucking looking at it. He's like, I'm a fucking MMA fighter now. Okay, cool.
I missed this fight even though I was looking forward to it. And I was mad because I was motherfucking this late. I was this late because I was getting food and shit before the motherfucking fights.
And then what I thought was gangster was then Raul and Jay, they tried to like hug or whatever, but I guess Jay said like Jay didn't want to hug, and he said something or whatever. So then Raul, after trying to hug him, just stands in front of him and just flicks him off. And then I don't know, oh shit, I feel like I fuck with this boy a little bit more. But yeah, no, another bantamweight killer, so deep a division, and I just hope because there was another fighter that was Nate something, I can't remember his name, but he was he literally looked like a Ken Barbie doll. And he was only like 20 years old, and he was an MMA fighter, and he was marketable because he looked blonde hair, blue eye, Ken Barbie doll look, and it was selling. And then they rushed him. They rushed him way too quick, and then that shit, just died. So like, hopefully they don't try to rush Raul Rosas Jr. Let him get his feet underneath him, fight some people along the way.
He thinks he's ready for it. That boy said if they were to give him a vote right now, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I did see that. And then he said he wanted Aljo. And then Aljo said, fuck it. I'll make that fight next on Twitter. I don't think he's ready for Aljo. But hey, that boy got a dream.
Oh man, I'm capping. He's not the one that said vote. Why do I keep thinking that that's them? He did say Aljo.
You know, someone said they could fight Volk. I can't remember who that was. But I remember that person also lost. And I was like, what a silly comment to make right before you lose.
But nah, 282 was lit.
Oh, that was Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell said you could put him in a cage with Volk right now and he would win. I was like, I know it's the same card because I heard that shit on the stream.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But hey man, that's life out here. But it was a great card, man. Like I thought I'd be. And there were a lot of fucking finishes. Dana was in a good mood. He said he gave everybody that made it a finisher bonus and Morano got on 50. So there's a lot of checks that got cashed.
10 straight finishes before the co-main event, and the only things that ended in decision were the main events. Everything else was a finish. Then our quickest finish on the day was literally our next fight. First round, 23 seconds into it, that boy Jazim Rosenstrike took the soul out of Dawkins. I think this is another pick. You took Dawkins, but you didn't really want to pick Dawkins. But I was trying to tell you, but Dawkins does not look like someone who should be in the UFC right now. Like and Rosenstrike just literally took the trash out.
Obliteration, kid. 26 seconds, was it?
23 seconds is all it took.
Wow. I just need to see Rosenstrike back fight the top. I guess there's a class that Dawkins is nowhere near there.
None. I mean, you made a Blades look like a boxer. Then you got in this ring with someone who can actually box. And whoever his manager was, you're making terrible choices. And then our second to last fight, I'm going to hit on one more. But our last fight before that one is Chris Curtis beating Joaquin Buckley. I took Curtis as the dog. I even said put out plus 145 money line. That's one of my bets I took. It cashed. And I thought Buckley was winning the fight. Buckley, I thought, was looking like the better. It was good rounds, but Buckley was winning them. But Chris Curtis hit his ass with that one shot, dropped him, got on top of him, and Buckley was trying to get back up, and one hammer fist, and then you saw like Buckley like get knocked out, like hands up at that point, fight over. Chris Curtis, the action took care of business.
That shit was insane. They said that I was watching a Chris Curtis interview on Air Juani, and motherfucking they said that he knocked him out with that hit that dropped him. And then he hit him, and then he was like, "Oh, he's out." Bro, woke up, tried to get up, hit him again, and now they're just looking at the ref like.
He knocked him out, got on top. He was like, "Motherfucker, you waking back up?" Put his head back down.
That shit is insane. I didn't know how old Chris Curtis was, though. He's like in his 30s.
Yeah, he got some years in. He's fought a few fights in the UFC.
But yeah, it was a good fight, man. Shout out them boys for winning. But damn, I really thought my dog Joe Kwan. I'm mad because this is when I was supposed to hop on the podcast, but motherfucker, the live stream, but the food was taking forever.
That's what happened. He needed you, Kev.
They needed me. I would have been a bit. I got you, man. You think he would have won if it went to decision? Oh no, don't trust those.
That second round would have been Chris Curtis's round. It would have been depending on how that third round went. Because once that knockdown, even if he got back up, that second round would have went to Curtis. And it depends on, because I think he won the first, and if he would have won the third, he probably would have won.
All right, that was a bad question. Everybody's know you don't let that big go to decision.
Oh, then our last fight. Only reason we didn't talk it on the preview, I did say it was gonna be a good fight, but I gotta talk it because Tampa owned Billy Quarantino getting the dub and looked fucking great while doing it. Whooped Aaron Hernandez's ass. Got the second round KO. Doubled his significant strikes. Doubled his headshots. Tripled the body shots. I mean, he looked pretty damn good, and I'm only giving him a shout out because Tampa's very own trains at South Tampa Gracie, right up the street from me. That boy, he's putting on. There's only like 2 good UFC fighters in UFC. I mean, out of Tampa, he's one of them.
That's fine. That's fine as fuck. Well,
yeah, we're putting on.
Now you know where to go train at.
Yeah, I might have to go pop in because another one that trains also is South Tampa Gracie, and it's Matt Steamroller Favola.
There you go. We got some hitters out in Tampa now.
Yeah, we've done our now. Hey, Danny, need listen. Bring a show. Bring them boys with you.
Right, they bring a show to Tampa. I mean, I need us to get those tickets to second age. I don't care, motherfucking.
Amelia Arena holds enough people too. They could definitely do it there.
And they could do a pay-per-view. Come on, man. Stop playing with us, Dana.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like Jorge Masvidal could be the fucking co-main event. I wouldn't give a fuck just because of the Miami ties.
Kobe Covington could be the motherfucking main event. I'm pulling up. What if it's Hazmat meets Florida?
Oh, it invades Florida. That boy be getting lit at Prana.
But nah, man, UFC 282 was lit. Hey, there's a lot of controversy in this bitch, and we'll see how people move accordingly. Hey, look forward to motherfucking UFC 283, Glover versus Jamal Hill. I can't wait to see who else they put on it. And Figueroa and Moreno's on that card, isn't it?
Yep, that got announced for sure. It's gonna happen.
So yeah, that's gonna be a great fucking card. So we'll see what goes down, man. But stay tuned, man. We got the motherfucking preview. We got Cannonier fighting this weekend, so you know it's gonna be. We got
Sean Strickland.
Make sure you go peep the motherfucking boxing recaps because it was a great motherfucking week of fights. That boy Inoue fought, and you know every time Inoue fights, it's a big event. But hey, man, if you didn't know, we don't mind telling you again. This has been the Totally Blitz Fight Club MMA style. You feel me, man? I'm your boy Kev Waterboy Savoy, three fight enthusiasts. That's your boy Paul Pickman, Wyndham Concert, aka the Drunk Gambler, man. And this is the Totally Blitz podcast. And if you didn't know, tell Paddy I said I'm a scouser, but you might have got fucked up, man.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got 2